The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 10 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Mr. Pleasant, good morning to all maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers. Good morning to each and every one of you. To all senior citizens, a pleasant good morning to you. To the physically challenged disabled people, a pleasant good morning to you. Not forgetting our sister Tobago. Tobago, good morning to you. To all loyal listeners, callers, well-wishers, critics, haters, non-believers of themselves, good morning to each and every one of you. But most important morning goes to all patriots, Trinbagonians, people that will put their God and their family first before the race, religion, and politics that is destroying this country. Mr. Pleasant, good morning for those of you that are locked on to us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube. Hey, John, come in. Shirley, good morning. Lachman, good morning to you. Jason Jaffers, good morning, Maggie. Angela, good morning to you. Oh, boy. Emala, good morning. Davika, Balkaran, good morning to you. Balroop, good morning, man. Ran, good morning. Roma Price, good morning to you. Yeah. These days of the weather. Wow. Joe Williams, good morning. Each and every one of you that are local, man. Brian, good morning. Dexter Saunders, good morning. Denise. I'll go for Denise and Dave and Deborah. Out there. Plus Denise and Dave. Denise, I ain't talked to you so long too, man. Hey, baby. Good morning to baby. Miss Balmain, all of you, a pleasant good morning. My good friend in Vancouver, Indra. Anne-Marie, Amin, Anne-Marie, Dulal Chan, all of you. Marilyn Seacharan, good morning. Michael Scotland, all of you, good morning to you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Lennox Smith. Again, my big question this morning to each and every one of you. While we all watch the weather, is, are you ready? That's the Briangani. Primrose, good morning. Are you ready? Would it continue being like this? Would we remain like this until the elections and then all of a sudden receive the thief that elections too? Would you wait till a refinery to be sold to the Indian businessman when it could be remain right here in Trinidad? Let we put let us put $3 billion US dollars, get refinery back up and running. Within a year, 2 years or so, we sure pay back for that and making money. If the refinery can't make money, how manage our Indian businessman or how manage our businessman interested in something that he can't make money? So that is all those things that's supposed to show. And then don't forget, this week we were supposed to also, which we will make the communication with the former energy minister, Kevin Ramnarine, who have a lot to break down with us when it comes to that refinery. Sabrina Samlal Singh, good morning. So that is a big question. That's the question. Other than that is what is in the headliners. Oh boy, like Lennox in up and running. Other than that, I want to hear from you, the people. What's on your front burner? What's your headlines? I don't know what's on mine since yesterday. I only know what's on my front burner. Let me say pleasant good to Reggie's paint shop, auto mechanic shop, parts place. Wow. I say good morning to Sean Reggie's, man. Very, very good, nice fella, man. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. At this point in time, goes to the Pitbull of Radio vehicle. It is there. Doing a little work on it. Right, so come on. One of the lines are open while I try to get the little papers. Yeah. Well, we know school is to reopen today. That's in the Guardian. The school is to reopen today. Also in the Guardian front page, TNT Speed. Other Caribbean islands not so lucky with Beryl. And you're seeing real people get some licks. Opposition supports passes of the bail bill. Yep. So the opposition support the passing of the bail bill. Well, from the last time I told Lennox, remember I think it was 275, then we went to 280. Well, today the murder is 283. So since then to now, 3 other people die. Who was it? Nice. So now while I see Lennox Smith is on, and as I tell you all, the lines are open for you all. Eh? What's your front burner? Are you ready?
I wasn't aware, my friend. I was a bit tardy this morning. Slept like a baby overnight, having regard to the possibility that Beryl would have barreled down on Trinidad, well, at least Tobago and the northern part of Trinidad. So we have been spared. So maybe I was inadvertently or unconsciously celebrating the passage without real injury, except, of course, a mourning for those in St. Vincent in particular and Grenada.
Them get bad.
So good morning to you, my friend. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear. They get bad or what?
Huh?
They get it bad? St. Vincent and Grenada?
Yeah, Grenada got it little less worse than that of St. Vincent. St. Vincent, 90% of the homes on Union Island has been either destroyed or roofs blown off. And of course, a clarion call is being made. SOS, in fact, is sent out to the world for assistance. Guyana has already pledged. I don't know what is happening yet with Trinidad and Tobago in terms of support for the recovery efforts that now must be made. But of course, on the heels of Beryl, we have another system
Guyana support who? Guyana support who, is it? Ghana support who?
Huh?
Ghana support who?
Huh?
Ghana
has already pledged assistance to St. Vincent.
Okay.
In response to
Ghana big in the dance,
Prime Minister Gonzalez's request for assistance.
Wow, they get that bad.
Yeah, it's real terrible in St. Vincent in particular. We have not gotten an official report from Grenada, but I saw a picture from Carriacou, which is the second largest island there, Grenada being part of that. Grenada and the Grenadines, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and you have Grenada and some other islands. They got it real bad. You see the streets are strewn with debris and the roofs blown off from homes, etc. Of course, the northern part of Tobago got something, but nothing to talk about. 1 or 2 persons, and people did make use of the shelters that was provided. And all is well that ends well, in such circumstance. Of course, the Trinidad, we get the usual flooding, which is not unusual for any torrential rain. But in terms of wind difficulty and destruction from that, I think it may be 1 or 2 places. We are still doing the assessment. NEMA is at work, doing what they have to do, and the regional corporations are also engaged. Let me just take off this this automated, voice here. So I think all is well that ends well. But as I said, we are not yet out of the draws of the disturbances and the possible destruction. So people brace for another system coming our way, at least to the Caribbean, out of the Atlantic Ocean by tomorrow. Understand by Wednesday, which is tomorrow. That system should be here in the Caribbean. So we simply have to respond. And it is historic, that particular barrel, because it said that this kind of storm will normally be in the middle of the hurricane season, about August, middle of August, September. But it appears that it has come at the commencement of the hurricane season, which is not a very, what I consider to be salubrious or significant development. Because when I say significant development, I mean that because it is it is on record now that this has never happened before. Such a powerful storm, a Category 4 storm, coming as early as this in the Caribbean, and therefore they are blaming heated water, more than normal heated water in the Caribbean Sea and in the Atlantic Ocean, which fuels, of course, provides the power for such storms and enlarge them and make them form, as one of the perfect storms. We have to look forward to that. And of course, some people are claiming that it is global warming, consequential of climate change, that is the culprit in this particular case. And we have to be looking forward to more of that. And the people have to be more cautious. And when they are making plans, make plans for climate change and weather phenomena such as these. So that's the reality of Trinidad and Tobago, the reality of the world and the Caribbean. And
I think I heard you say we're supposed to be expecting.
Mankind has to brace.
I think I heard you say we're expecting a next storm by Wednesday.
Yes, another system is coming on the heels of this one, and there's another one as well that has formed in the Atlantic Ocean that normally will sweep across the Atlantic into the Caribbean, which is the normal path of hurricanes in this part of the world. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And Trinidad and Tobago. But meanwhile, you have any particular headline that you would like to touch on? Again, my headline is the refinery. My headline is the Trinbago getting back their lands. My headliners is
those are two serious ones. Those are two serious ones. We have another one in my view, Dr. Rowley, I think at the 7 Days Adventist University in St. Joseph, when he literally regurgitated, repeated, parroted what Kamala Prasad Bisesa has been saying as far as education is concerned. He says that that is the key to, of course, addressing crime and criminality, which I thought was very hilarious, frankly, because after skirting and after telling us it's family fault and then individual fault and then people not reporting fault and then the government has reached the zenith of its tolerance and ability to manage the affairs of crime and criminality in the country, and then says, of course, that we know what to do if a government cannot manage the question of crime, and then, of course, it is a public health issue.
Talking to Mike.
Yeah, that it is a public health issue, and that we should be looking at ridiculously going to some pharmacy to get a tablet in order to solve the crime situation, and then castigating and soliciting the support of the religious community. I mean, all of those were advances to clearly stay relevant and to make excuses for an incompetent organization that has superintended the highest amount of murders recorded in this country, not once, not twice, but at least 3 times. And this year is no exception. And Dr. Rowley continues to make these what I consider to be nonsensical excuses when, of course, he should take his own advice, and that is when a government cannot meet the demands of the society for security, then they should be contemplating getting to hell out of government. And he is yet, of course, to say so on that basis, claiming that somehow he has done well when, in fact, he has been the purveyor and perpetrating evil and discontent and disappointment and pain and ache and agony that has been brought to the people of Trinidad and Tobago over the last 9 years or so far, and going into next year, which would make it hopefully, well, not hopefully, but inevitably a final 10 years. No one could go beyond that in terms of a conscientious Trinbago, and of course a conscious and conscientious, well-informed electorate who would, of course, eventually make the decision that Dr. Rowley clearly has been the bane of the society, and the reintroduction of Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the UNC is now inevitable and must now follow without fear, without contradiction, and with a sense of hope and reassurance. And that is the reality of Trinidad and Tobago today.
That's so true. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So Trinidad, the lines are open. I have a video to play based on corruption and what corruption doing to us, the people in Trinidad and Tobago, or what they're doing to any country, and what will be the end. All the facts are corruption. All the facts are corruption. I'll pay that in a little while.
I don't know, but I have to go abroad to make a comparative analysis. And of course, there was a media interview with the president of Kenya, being locked, of course, in the people's, especially young people, upset with this administration, with that administration, William Kuto, Kuto, and his government, and the fact that they have mismanaged the economy. They have been accused of rampant corruption, and there was a frank talk and a frank engagement.
But let me take this call by the time first. By the time you continue.
Engagement, and it reminds me, of course, of Dr. Rowley and his administration. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, morning.
Miss Laukita, you hold 1 minute. First caller, you go ahead. Hold Miss Laukita. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
No, not you. The next caller. Go ahead, next caller. Miss Laukita, just now. You will go right after the gentleman. Go ahead, caller.
Okay. Good morning to the panel. We supporting the national ownership of the Point of Pearl refinery. At the beginning, Patriotic had beat out over 76 international companies. Right? They also have a new bid inside here for the refinery, and they said that it's for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. They also said that when the company stabilize, that they will open it up for people to buy shares into the company and become owners of this Point of Pearl oil refinery. Right? So they have a bid inside, and what we also need to do is to give a letter to the Prime Minister, Dr. Christopher Rowley, also to the Minister of Finance, also to Stuart Young, and the evaluation committee, to know that people in Trinidad and Tobago want our refinery to stay under national ownership, in national interest. And Patriotic has a bid. They said they answer all the questions. They visited the site, and they have the ability to restart the refinery. They will be also employing some of the people who went home, who have the institutional memory to operationalize the refinery. And Patriotic, they are Trinidad and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. That's my contribution. I'll be supporting national ownership of the Point of Pearl oil refinery. Thank you, Andy, for the support.
Thank you, Ms. Lakota. You go ahead.
Yes, morning.
Good morning.
I am ready, right? Because we want back the refinery. We want it back to be running. No selling of it. We need it back, and we have to fight for it. Fight to get it back. Lennox, you said you sleep like a baby. Did you get up like a baby also? Now, my thing is, this morning, I want to say to the Minister of Health, you had 2 weeks with the report of the babies, right? And I know for a fact it's alleged, or you're coming with a pack of lies. It's a pack of lies, or you're coming with how come the 18 babies die? Because all you didn't put things in place. But all you get the report now, and you know what happened, all you do what all you have to do in the report, all you dig up and all you turn around things. So we want to hear what all you will say, but I know for a fact it's a pack of lies. We don't trust all you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, I was able to get up, but those babies you refer to did not because of poor protocols and procedures that were engaged by the health authorities. Of course, the Alsing, is disingenuous and attempting to defend the indefensible in terms of what the findings of that report is by these professionals.
Hold on a minute.
Morning,
It's
gentlemen.
hilarious and disingenuous.
Morning,
Good
gentlemen.
Go ahead,
Good
caller.
morning,
Morning.
How are you all this morning?
Not good at
Well,
all.
of course, as I
Every
said, I
day you
slept
get
like
up.
a baby this morning. Maybe the coolness of the weather.
Man,
Yeah.
man, let me
And
tell
I
you.
am-
Let me tell you who I am this morning. I am just happy that Almighty God give me an give me an opportunity to live a next day, have health and strength, and to come out here to continue the fight for the right thing. Other than that,
Thank you.
and outside of that, and the grace of God, things ain't good. Things ain't good at all. When you leave your
Yeah.
house, you could end up dead. When you leave,
You read my mind, boy?
yeah.
You read my mind. I was going to say, thank God, and nobody galvanized the fire, no roof, nobody get damaged, and everything is okay. Thank God for all that.
Nah.
But, my neighbor asked me to do something for her. She have a little car rental place here where I live in. And one of our colleagues, well, when I say colleague, not working in the station there, but who talks on another radio station. He don't like all at all. But I said, not too far from our radio station, 102, 104, 105, 106. And come and rent the woman car by only $15,000. I will not come and pay she. He tells she call him Saturday. She called him 14 times. And he wouldn't answer the phone. I don't know what kind of announcer people it will be in the media. And the thing about that is, he has no money, but he have a woman coming with him and renting car and spending money that he don't have. So I am sure it will reach him because when they get this message, go and pay the poor lady now. But she had to pay people. The people doing a small business, nothing big, and you go want to take advantage. And anytime you call him, he cutting you off. So the woman asked me to call her because she's listening to all you. And I'm thanking her very much for appreciating for me allowing this on the program. And gentlemen, I'll be very careful outside there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
Oh boy. Morning, caller.
Hello, morning.
Good
I
morning.
love Rowley. Rowley boys are good thing you do, yes? Because it's storm afraid you and all. It turn away from Trinidad and Tobago. So that's the only good thing about you. That storm know you where you gone. Afraid you. You can mash up anything. You can run down anything. Yeah. But anyway, you know what this country as it is today? Is racialism. That is what have this country in the state of it.
Wow. You get caught, you can always call back. Morning, caller.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, Newbie, and to everybody out here. I hope that everybody's okay. We passed through the worst of it. I think it's collective prayers. I know it's collective prayers. Unfortunately, some people, it was not so lucky, Carriacou and all those places, but what we're going to do? You understand the time thing, but we have to say thank God. Another thing, I want to congratulate all the community SCA children because, Andy, we had no program and thing yesterday. So, we had, but we were not getting it properly and you were not taking calls and so. But, Andy,
No, it was working real bad. Real bad it was working.
Yeah, I realized that. So, but what I wanted to think now that the Paho report has been laid in Parliament, we are seeing the carelessness instead of it functioning because it's newborn babies you are dealing with. premise, right? Instead of it was functioning at 100%, I think it was only functioning, I think at 15% or something like that, right? And now the DRC tried to take himself out of it, saying that there are certain parts of the report he have to get clarification on, and one set of who shot John, right? But the bottom line was, if you all, right, were really concerned, these things would not have happened. All this see for all this what it is was going on. But I want to tell Petronella Allen something this morning. You run your mouth when people were talking about it. I wonder if she read the report. I wonder if she read the report about what it is went on there, right? And next time, don't be so quick to jump down people throat what it is. It was a tragic situation that 22 babies died because of carelessness. That is the bottom line. Because of carelessness. You understand? And the next thing I just want to touch on, Andy, is not, it's something that it's an elephant that is sitting in the room, right? Now, we know that this man went and helped with the whistleblower legislation, right? Because he said that there's corruption in the Sandy Grande Regional Corporation. Andy, don't you think as a responsible person, he could have gone and reported it? Now you are hearing from Monroe. You are hearing from Monroe, the MP for
Santa Cruz. Call back. You say no way hearing but from Monroe, however you get cut. Lost you there.
Well, I suspect she's talking about the parliamentary representative, which is, of course, a PNM representative, and one would expect that he will make heavy weather. I'm sure that he would have capitalized on it. You know, it's like a parasite that, a parasite is one that takes but don't give back. Well, they see that as an opportunity, of course, to capitalize politically on any port for a storm having regard to their incompetence, impotence, and inability to, of course, manage the affairs of the people and deliver. So they will use that as an opportunity to gain political, unmeritoriously, of course, political fodder. That really and truly is neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that Rai had an opportunity before he voted and could have consulted with the party that controls of which he is a part, and a parliamentary representative could have, of course, done the duty that he ought to do, communicate with them, as Santa Cruz rightly said, report to the police. But he did none. So it was mere an attempt to humiliate and embarrass the opposition, and no doubt it has nothing to do with any of the superficial and superfluous arguments that he would have made.
Morning, caller.
Good morning.
The thing about it is that complaint, that report came from AUNCMP. So why all the comment to blame Monyo? No, Monyo only repeating what was said by Rai Ragbel. And come back to yesterday, we thank God for Rai Ragbel, PNM, and the UNC dissidents, that the UNC decide to vote in favor of the bill. Thank God.
And you see, you are misinforming the population. They did not say that's the reason. They said that it was good law on this occasion, and that is why they supported it. That is what they said. Do not attempt to infiltrate or to supplant that which is reality. They never said that as because of what you surmise. That is your own interpretation and your own invention. It's typical of Rowley and the rest of his government, I suppose. Go ahead, Andy.
Oh boy, and them. Oh my! All of the lines are open. While I just organizing to put this a video together here. Oh boy. The numbers to call 229-0251, 229-0251, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053. The lines.
Lennox.
Yes, fictitious. Yes, fictitious. Go ahead.
It was the very same bill. Nothing changed. The only thing changed is that it went from 120 days to 180 days, which is even worse. So what attempt? There was only fearful.
At the time, there was a court matter, a decision that clearly went awry or contrary to when on the last occasion it was presented in court. Very simple. And you should, of course, do a little more background research in order to, of course, draw the conclusion that you did. But to say that it's because of Rai and others, it's being dishonest and, of course, inventive. A figment of your imagination, of course.
Oh, boy.
Hello?
Morning, caller.
Good morning.
Andy, I don't know what went on there just now. Good morning again. I don't know what went on. The calls are cutting. Yeah, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, go ahead. We're hearing you loud and clear.
All right, okay. All right. What I was saying is that Monroe, as the MP, right? Look at how long he's the MP. He didn't suspect that. He didn't know nothing. But suddenly, because Rai Ragbi said that, suddenly he said, yes, there's corruption. But what I was saying, as responsible citizens, Andy, don't you think it would have been the right thing to do to go to the police and expose what it is going on? We have seen a lot of reports about corruption in PNM controlled corporations, right? And what nonsense he talking about now? And then I hear this next one jumping after me, right? Monroe, as I said, Monroe like a chandelier, you have a lot of things hanging over his head. And they think, no, he talking about the bill that was passed. It was the bail amendment. And she said it. And I want to tell anybody who talking about Kamala was fumbling and stumbling and incoherent. That's a lie. She was clear, very, very clear as to what it is was going on and why it is that they were going to pass that bill. Because amendments were made, right? Amendments were made that would be that wouldn't let's say mash up some perpetrator or whatever. Because I mean, a person is innocent until proven guilty, right? And she did well. She gave a very good presentation yesterday, and I must say, but they finally helped them pass the bill because we mustn't forget that part, right, Lennox? Because of the amendments. That's it, Andy. Thanks a lot, and everybody have a safe day.
Thank you very much.
The callers claiming that it was the same bill and there were no amendments, quite apart from the concerns of the DPP and other luminaries, including, of course, the Law Association, as to the veracity and the viability of such a bill in the form that it was prior. That could not be practically implemented in a jurisprudence or in a legal system that claims that people are innocent until proven guilty.
And that full caller, when you guys call for people to come out, that's the OWTU and Rosie send his people to come out and help you guys support the march. Tell a caller, only one crap go up in there, you know where? They come and calling for you guys. My father always tell me, when crab go up in it, but dog that's cow wood. My old man's always tell me that. So now it's S went up in there, you know where? They come and run into you guys. Talk to you later. Hey, I keep telling you, why you giving that guy time on the radio station? When we call the PNM radio station, don't give us no time. Don't give the guy no time to call, man. I say, hey, boy, just cut him off, man, immediately.
No, well, it has nuisance value and it has and the uncanny but real benefit of making people know the level of ignorance that, of course, retains in persons who in an attempt to defend the PNM go to the point of lunacy.
Oh boy. Let me organize. Let's take a quick break and come back, Trinidad and Tobago. What's on your front burner? Oh boy, let me take this one here. Morning.
Politics, only deceitful. Miss Sadako, you're trying to spin some.
Boy. We don't explain that. And you ain't get caught because we call you as a PNM support here.
The truth does offend and people that start to get delirious.
You get cut because you already made your point clear. Lennox Smith already made his point based on your point clear. Miss Santa Cruz made her point clear. And the line's open for other people that have other front burners or maybe want to participate in the points that was made. Some may agree, some may not. That's just how it is. We go take a quick break and come back. When we come back, more right here on the Ground Report. We'll be back.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open for breakfast and lunch. 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 67 Western Main Road, St. James, opposite Steiner's. Serving local breakfast items like sada, pies, fry and roasted beef, with all your favorite fillings and assorted lunches. Available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Get pilau as low as $25 or get combination lunches from $25 to $40. Crab and dumpling on Fridays, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Soup Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. A la carte with burgers, fries, nuggets, gyros, loaded hot dogs. Just about anything you could think about. From 6 p.m. Sunday to Sunday. For more information, call 382-9347 to place your order. Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open 7 days a week at St. James.
The big question today, how much will my electricity bill increase? Stop worrying. Act now. Replace your bulbs with energy-efficient LED bulbs now available at Trinity Lighting. When you purchase 4 60-watt LED bulbs for $112.50, you get 2 absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. Or purchase 3 100-watt LED bulbs for the same price and get 1 100-watt LED bulb free. Trinity also has the following options. Purchase 2 4-foot LED tube or 1 8-foot or 2 LED colored bulbs for the same price, $112.50. At Trinity, we also stock specialty items and a wide range of electrical supplies for all your household, medical, marine, commercial, and much more. Any hard-to-find bulbs or parts, we can source it locally or internationally. Check us out at 123 Western Main Road in St. James or call 628-8373, WhatsApp 461-8620 or email trinityetc@yahoo.com.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back. Time check. It's approximately 9 minutes to the hour of 7 o'clock. And you listen to the Ground Report. I want to play clip here. Dealing with corruption, man. I would like you all to listen, man. Oh boy.
This is the Queen of America.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in a state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government.
I don't want to continue playing it. Hear that? Investors, people want to invest and only realize nobody in want to come and what's that? The only investment recently that the government talked about was the Indian businessman. The Indian businessman who he and all is on bribery and a corruption charge. Imagine that. Lennox Smith?
Yeah,
understand?
Even that and all is a misnomer as far as the government.
As far as the
one's explanation as to how that came about, because Dr. Rowley told us that that the presence of that businessman in Trinidad was as a consequence of his visit to India, when in fact Stuart Young would have met him in Venezuela. Dr. Rowley ought to have known, and I'm being generous here by saying ought to, because I give a sense that he may not have, but he ought to, because Stuart Young is of course a minister in the office of the Prime Minister, and then of course he presents him here in Trinidad, having visited Trinidad and Tobago, clearly on the invitation of the government in relation to our mothballed refinery, and then tells us that he's here in talks with respect to the oil refinery, again infringing of course another fundamental principle, and that is of course the procurement legislation. And he cannot tell us that is a government to government arrangement, because the man is a private businessman in India, so it cannot be government to government. As you know, the procurement legislation was gutted to, of course, maintain a government to government aspect, where, of course, the procurement regulator has no jurisdiction. So therefore, the entire thing is mired, of course, in what you rightly have played earlier, and one can clearly say that it's a classic case of a corrupt act by a corrupt group, having of course engaged in a situation where birds of feather flock together. Corrupt people gravitate to corrupt people, and of course is a case of course power corrupts, and absolute power, as Dr. Rowley tries to of course tell us.
Let me finish the video, Lennox. Let me just finish off the video.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil. When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society. We all lose when corruption is rampant. Those who participate in corruption have chosen evil over good, lies over truth, and personal gain over well-being of all. To be corrupt means to be rotten. When meat is corrupt, it's rotten and it stinks. Rotten meat can't be eaten. When a person is corrupt, he's rotten and unfit for a place in the community. A corrupt person should be jailed in order to protect society from the vile deeds of the corrupt person. Government should be protecting us from the foul results of corruption instead of being the proponents and participants in corruption. When corruption is systemic, when it's a culture and a way of life, when corruption thrives, it destroys the health of the community and nation. Now let me tell you something. Defeating corruption is a very difficult thing. The love of money is the root of all evil, the Bible says. People who love money will do almost anything to get it. Those who choose to stand up against corruption, you need to know that we're going to be involved in a war. We will be threatened, vilified, intimidated, marginalized, and ridiculed. These kind of people who stand up against corruption will often feel alone, as if they are the problem instead of the solution. Corruption can only be defeated when enough people have had enough and decide to do something about it.
Only when enough people fed up and decides to do something about it.
Well, that last part of that statement on corruption clearly identifies with the efforts of the ground report and those noble and patriotic individuals and citizens who would come out through the pushback movement and through some and through of course social media explanations and overtures, as well as of course those persons who come out physically in order to demonstrate their opposition, their disapproval or their disapprobation of this kind of behavior. So well done, Andy. I think that is a beautiful summary in conclusion, in synoptic form, of what corruption really is, because Dr. Rowley is yet to tell us where they get the money from to construct this over $100 million as estimated PNM headquarters. He's yet to tell us why it is that government contracted companies have been pouring concrete with their own facility on Balize House, contrary to what he has been telling the population. Jusamco's vehicle, I have the pictures, so they cannot deny it. Was pouring concrete on the foundation. Yet still, Dr. Rowley recently in the local government elections gone last year, August, told us in uncertain terms that not one contractor, and it so happens that the same contractor, Jusamco, was the contractor that constructed that piece of the highway to Point Fortin that collapsed into the swamp below, and we are yet to hear whether or not compensation will be given to the taxpayers or how that matter will be resolved. That is clearly what that particular piece is referring to, that piece of audio on the question of corruption, nepotism, cronyism, and poor government, and the deprivation and the consequential deprivation of the population, particularly the vulnerable, those
but
who
hold 1 minute. Let me take this call,
etc. in order and expects that the government to protect them. That is not the case.
Go ahead,
Let's
caller.
go. The lines are pleasant. Good morning.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Gong Report. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago Central.
Good morning
Here,
to you.
Andy, may God bless our nation to be healthy and alive today. May God continue blessing you guys to the wonderful job that you all continuously fighting the fight with the country. Thank God for that. All right, short and sweet. You see all the billion and the zillion were missing. Trinidad open all your eyes and see when general election call, when that bell ring, watch out the PNN going and pelt out money. They thief that money for that purpose. Thank God, as the saying, the hurricane spray this man so much until it make a 6:30 U-turn and it go on. But thank God for the praying soul in Trinidad and Tobago. They fight the fight just like we said. We continue praying it about God. And God don't like injustice. And injustice will come to an end. Every long hope have an end. You understand? God always conquer evil. All we are saying, Trinidadians, all you come together, unity is strength, as Andy does always say every single morning, and together, put our heads together, put our differences aside, and fight for a better living. Who don't want to live better, boy? Who don't want to drink and eat? And why we are one man destroying this place? Why we are one man selling out the place? Why we have one man thieving and robbing with our own life and enjoyment? What about our hard citizens and them who work in the past time back then? They sweat, they labor hard in the country. And them can't enjoy it. They have to cage up. I see a house on my side. And this one, see the house. They call it the cage house. If you see barriers right around this one, I said I go down there. The places are business, but what people are so afraid. They don't want to live there. They can tell you what the lifestyle you in this place every single day. Hurricane on hurricane, murder down the line. You understand? All them once and for all. PNM is the problem. We get rid of them once and for all now. I passed somewhere yesterday. This the body they dry up. It dry up. Mother Earth and put up it. I can tell you, she won't even get her no more. Let me come together and get rid of this PNM. You understand? And you don't want to call John election because you don't know that will be last day in office. So let me come together and put on the gear and fight politically and get rid of this wicked, non-performing, dirty, bad mind PNM government. And you see a man who calling a short while ago yesterday and they're fighting for the PNM. I will tell you something. Go and study to put breakfast on the table for yourself and your family and leave the UNC out for your business, mister. And it's that.
Thank you very much. Next caller. Oh boy, the lines are open. What's on your front burner? Morning caller.
Morning to the big wood man.
Oh, Mr. Laukita, morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning to you, the morning Trinidad and Tobago. And the last time I was listening to a program on someone win TV or someone on television. They interview about 9 people asking them about the luck that we had with the hurricane that just passed. And the majority of them said, there's only one guy but 8 of them said that we are not ready yet. So God in his wisdom knows that we are not ready yet for anything. So he's giving us a little more time to get things in readiness. And that brings me back to the question, to the offer I had. I understand. Last week I already was asking what the Okita was putting up an offer there, and he had it mixed up. He wasn't sure. But Andy had repeated for all the callers because I had this on the program about 9 years now, Dr. Rowley in office. And since he came in, I had that. And a lot of new callers came in after, so they don't know about the offer that the Okita offering. So I repeated again this morning. Maybe the guy just only who talking, he have a chance to get some money now. School closed, it will open just now. Parents need books, they need uniform for the kids. So I'm here the offer again. I'll get to hear the offer. All I'm asking for is one ministry that is efficiently run. You don't have to do it. You don't have to call 9, 10, 11. I just want one. Whether it's the Ministry of Health, whether it's the Ministry of Education, whether it's the Ministry of Social, whatever. They have about 30 or 40 ministries. I just want you to give me one that is efficiently run in this country. The callers and the listeners will be the judge. You call in, you give your ministry your answer, callers and you will be the judge. If the callers and the listeners say, yes, Laukita, Talparo, or this one from Soto, or this one from Princess Song, they catch you this time, they have the answer. You come down to the radio station, the ID card, and you collect your $2,000. That's all. When you come on, nobody asks you no questions, we don't want to hear anything, you don't have to pull no draw, no lotto, no nothing, no full out, no form, no nothing. You just have to let us know. One ministry, only one I want, I don't want 5 and 6, just one. Call in and say, yes, Ministry of Health, boy, or Ministry of Education, that working efficiently. Just call and tell us, and come down to the radio station with the ID card, and collect your $2,000. I locked on and listening, Andy.
Yeah, the kind of things that is real hurt me. When you watch
like he
in the papers,
Andy, I recall that it was $1,000. He started with 1,000. He upped it 2,000. Well, that should be greater incentive.
But what I watched too is in the papers saying the Express, Trinidad and Tobago ready to help hurricane hit islands. We don't. What's my? We in a hurricane category 5, not now. Long time. Long time. I feel there's a 6, a 8. I feel there's a number. There's a new number. You know. Where's the worst number? Up to 5.
I think it's up to 5 if my information serves me right. Up to 5, and of course, I think they are now contemplating, the people who are the experts at the Hurricane Center based in Miami, I believe it is, are talking about a new category because the intensity and the frequency is so phenomenal that they may well have to up another category.
When we invented category Rowley, category 8, category 10, Rowley and the PNM.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure that will be unanimous in terms of in agreement. Maybe we could communicate with the National Hurricane Center in Miami and let them know that we are ready to, of course, categorize a new category.
And right also senior
in Trinidad.
Oh, caller, go ahead, caller. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Good morning, Andy Williams, and good morning, Lennox Smith, and good morning.
Good morning to you.
Trinidad and Tobago. First and foremost, Ragbir, he is the gentleman that wanted to be deputy political leader of this party. That is the gentleman wanted to run this party and help run this party. I want to find out something from this country. If he happens to win, you think he'd have come out with this kind of lies and untruth? The answer is no. What happened today? I want the government of Trinidad and Tobago to come out and tell the country the truth about this new CEO that they was going to bring from Wassa. I hear him talk. And the government must come out and tell the people if the gentleman dead. I want to find out from this country that, and I want Andy Williams, I want to ask a question, because they are the people who want to run our country, bring people all about, and when things happen, they're not telling the people the truth. And the chanted, the country today is mourning and bleeding, and the PNM is continue doing the wrong things to try to make it right for some of the population. But I want to tell the population, there are time and place for everything. There are time and place for you and your family. There are time and place for you and your children and your grandchildren. And if you don't want to listen to the lies and the mamagism, and telling people that they're not going to close down, they're not going to send home 2,000 workers in Wassa. Tell them I said a lie. Tell them I said that. Because they're waiting for after the election. If Gorge of Pacific win, they're going to retrench the people. Ask them also about this inheritance tax. Ask them about it. Ask them also about the raising price of Wassa and TNT. Ask them why they're waiting and still the hole in their hand to try to mamaga and fool the people. I want to tell these people, I want to tell you something. The last train is going down to San Fernando, and if they miss this one, they will never get another one. I want to tell the people, if you don't realize, and I don't stay home, and I don't go and vote early and get rid of the people, what we will get it bread, we wouldn't get it bread and devil leave. Under this administration will be coming. Put the UNC, put the people's party as concerned, care for you. The UNC, care for all. Not really, not time, no one.
Thank you. You're breaking up now. Thank you very much. Oh boy, morning caller.
Good morning, ground report.
Go ahead, Tunapuna.
Andy Lennox.
Good morning.
The conversation or had the interview with Kevin Ramnarine last week. I want to make a little contribution as relates to that. Now, one of the things that Kevin Ramnarine said that, he criticized the closure of Petrotrin. And because of the after effects of that, the businesses in the areas closed down, people lose their work, and all kind of thing. And all these areas, when Petrotrin was vibrant and whatnot, and economic activities and whatnot. In addition to that, what I want to state is that, This matter, Petrotrin management said that it was the fake oil. There was no oil produced and sent to Petrotrin. Because when they built Petrotrin, I think it was $100 million, and they denied any such thing happened. This matter went to court. And you know the court ruled in favor of A&V drilling Baksh. And to add to it, we had to pay them, I think it's $100 million, if you could help me, Lennox, right?
Yeah, what they identified as true oil.
Right.
Of course, so therefore the matter of the fake oil is yet to be ventilated in a court of law, but of course it's stymied by the present government.
And in addition to that, I read on the paper just recently, they were given a $200 million contract to do drilling and so. So you see, all these things, what it tantamount to is what transpired after the closure of Petrotrin. People lose their work, community and business activities, everything shut down and whatnot and things. And yet still we had to pay them compensation and award them contract. What Lennox, my major concern is this. I don't know if you read this article, the business segment of the Express, Saturday, 29 June. An article by Roger Hussein. I don't call them professor, them is economist. They missed the boat. I don't know if you read that article enough.
No, I didn't. But go ahead.
Hussein on sale of refinery could revitalize TNT economy. But hear what he says. I just want to show you something. I had two children who went to university, and I thank God that they didn't have to pass through these fellas and a man. Because why I'm saying this alone, if these is people that's supposed to, to educate our children or students, thing, and these fellas are so stupid and dotish. Could you imagine the future of this country with these fellas and a man? I'm saying this. Let me explain to you why I'm saying this, because this is something. This is the lifeblood of this country.
What's the name of the article?
Hussein on sale of refinery could revitalize TNT economy. But hear what he says. Selling the Point-and-Pay refinery to a foreign investor of good standing will augur well for this country. Right? He said that while speaking at the University Faculty of Law, Fort Oil and Gas Conference held in Trinidad Hilton, he noted a significant decline in approximately 40% in economic activity around the refinery since its closure. Lennox, you could imagine that? 40%, that's almost, let me just say half. And it could be more than 40%. But you telling people that you are satisfied and saying that, you support the closure of Petrotrin. He said, once you find somebody in good standing and whatnot and thing, one who have no criminal records and thing, we should sell the refinery. But if you identify that all these issues that concern Petrotrin, people lose their work, business activity, all the business hub in all the Claxton Bay, Couva and Marabella and all these places come to a halt. And then to add to it, you ain't talk about this man that Jindal, what his name, is facing the court. It ain't no fake thing, it ain't no thing that is true. And you still saying that the government should go ahead once you find somebody clean. But the point I'm making is this. You have not criticized the government for making such a decision to meeting with this man. Plus, I understand that the Indian High Commissioner, and they recommended this man too, and they had discussions with the government here and whatnot. In addition to that, our foreign diplomat, I think there's one Gopal, if I'm not sure that's his name, and these are the people who recommended this man. Could you tell me if there wasn't a thorough investigation done on this Jindal marriage? And to know that, hey, we can't take our main state asset and sell it to somebody with this kind of checkered record. So it leads me to wonder if Roger Hussein and you see why I'm going to tell all of these fellas and them, because let me tell you this, Lennox. I don't afraid to see it. Especially you see them Indian and them economists. You had this Rana Ramkitoon from Republic Bank, who was heavily critical of Kamla Patava and them. Now you see Republic Bank is owned by the state, he working for them. Roger Hussein, Vishnu Raghunath, who's the man of the politics of ethics and whatnot and things. And then you have Mukesh Basdev. And if I call him and two other people who will in high esteem, but have lost some confidence in them. That is Valmiki Arjun and Dr. Marlene Arts. Because I thought these people would have stand up in defense, like the Auditor General, to defend the wrongdoings of this country and stand up bold and brave. But you see what happened to these people? Because of Trinidad has limited job opportunities, these people decide, look, you see me, we are rocking no boat. Because if I lost my work, me are guaranteed to get in the next job. This is what this whole thing is about. That people are afraid to speak out because they will afraid that they lose their work. But if you have the fortitude and you are being dismissed by the government wrongfully, you have the option of going to the court. But you see, they would rather hold on to that and try to deceive the population, make comments around it and, flowery kind of thing and whatnot, cosmetic statements and whatnot. But they would not stand up for the truth and tell the Prime Minister and the government that you have closed down Petrotrin that resulted in this shock. This country cannot get no foreign exchange. We have to, and Kevin Ramnarine said, could you imagine, we have an airline industry here, and we have to import jet fuel and all these things, Lennox. Where we get in foreign exchange from, the little reserve that we have, thank God that Kamala and them leave. We have to take that and buy fuel and all this kind of thing. So you see what they do? They kill the goose that lay the gold. But you see, and he went on to lie, Hussein. He talked about one of the reasons that he support the closure is that if Petrotrin was losing money and whatnot and receiving state subventions and whatnot, he wholeheartedly support that because the country needs capital injection and whatnot. If you had spent some money the same money that you spend to send home people and the closure of Petrotrin and whatnot, if you had take that and try to, reorganize the Petrotrin and have it functioning, and as Andy does rightfully say, we could bring back, and you yourself say, Lennox, look at the kind of money, all those who are involved in the refinery business, look at the kind of money that they're making now. We could have been benefiting from all that, but by the thing, keep rolling on them. And I tell you, you say this A and B drilling thing, that mustn't put to rest. The opposition, I tell you, when you're here, we win this election, Lennox. And I'm saying it with confidence. We have to investigate all them issues. And I asked myself, if money passed Keith Rowley for you and Stuart Young and all you, because we hear people, some of the characters that all they're dealing with, Maduro, then this Jindal and all these people, these are people who pay bribes to get things done. And I'm asking whether money pass. I am saying that not all you are accused and all you. But you have to look at this thing objectively, because these fellas and them don't care about the well-being of this country. Because so far, Rowley and them have done nothing to benefit the poor people, the working class people, because when you watch it, the labor movement is almost dead. They shut down the industrial court. They get rid of Deborah Thomas Phillips because they realize a number of matters will be coming before the industrial court. And she is one that, very balanced as it comes to labor. So they get rid of she. So all these are factors that we have to consider. But Keith Rowley, and you see you, Roger Hussein, boy, fire upon all you. Because all you're lying to this population. All you're deceitful set as scamps. All you wouldn't come out and speak out the truth and talk about what they did to this country. This country cannot recover. And Lennox, finally, you see what the president of Guyana do? All those people who they give contracts in the energy sector and what other thing. The president tell them, he say, all you have to employ locals, All you have to employ we local people, we Guyanese people. And in addition to that, those who might not be employable, when I say, who might not have the necessary skill and thing to work in this business, you have to train people so that when all you go back, we have people who could take over the rate. You understand, Lennox? This is what our Prime Minister is all about. Not Rowley and them fellas and them. So, Lennox, you and Adi have a blessed day. Thanks for the little extra time, friend.
Thanks very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Time check. It's at 22 minutes past the hour, 7 o'clock. You're listening to the Ground Report. Yours truly, Lennox Smith. I'm the pitbull of radio in studio. I
understand, Andy, that pretty soon senatorial positions will be distributed by the PNM, and so people may be positioning themselves for such a opportunity. Let me put it that way.
How would they want to do that? They go and get rid of the senators they have right now?
I don't know. A Dickie Bird just whispered to me now, so I say I'm just saying that is what I've heard, and of course, is his connection with, of course, the statement and the concerns made by Mr. Tonopuna. But I want to just read two brief paragraphs. I found the article and I think it's very interesting. Let me just read two brief paragraphs as to Mr. Professor Hussein, because he is, of course, a lecturer at the University of the West Indies in economics. He says that as long as Indian businessman Naveen Jindal is clean and clear to conduct economic activity and business transactions in this country, he should be allowed to invest in the mothballed Petroleum refinery at Point of Pay. Of course, that man ought to know about the procurement legislation. I thought he should condition that by saying once the procurement legislation is adhered to. But he didn't say that. But he went on, of course, in the third paragraph of this article says, and of course I'm quoting him, that's what the article is doing. Well, I wouldn't know, so he would not know much about the legal aspects of it, meaning that the legal issues that that Jindal has in India. I would say if the checks were done and he is clean, then by all means invest in the refinery. But if it is he has some kind of problem or case hanging over his head and the courts have to deal with it, well, then we look for someone else. So I mean, to me, when you say that, why it is in the first place, if that is the case, that you could make such an assuring statement when Dr. Rowley ought to be dealing with people who does not have those kinds of what I consider to be toilet paper in their arsenal, that one would have expected due diligence on the part of the government to be triggered in order to prevent such imposition on the public and the provision of our assets to such an individual. One would have expected that. So we ought not to be in that place. So Hussein would have put his neck on the block foot, so to speak, in order to make a commitment that clearly may be an exercise in futility. That is how I would have interpreted what he was very optimistic about. One, not looking at procurement legislation and the role of Dr. Rowley in the infringement thereof is not a government-to-government arrangement, it's a government-private sector, and that ought to be left to the procurement mechanism in the country through the procurement legislation. And secondly, to say that if this man is supposed to be a lecturer and therefore one steeped in learning and of course in reading, and ought to have known that this man has that kind of background and ought not to be in any way close to the assets of this country, whether it be the oil refinery or otherwise, because of course, as you rightly played earlier, it reinforces the concept, the idea, and the practical exemplification of corruption, nepotism, and cronyism that this government has clearly has been not only subjected to these questions and yet to answer, but also to have engaged in a manner that is blatant and does not serve the national and individual good and societal good for Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice. Oh boy. Let's see, let me play some voice notes by the meanwhile too.
Good morning, ground reporters. Good morning, Andy Williams, Mikey K, Lennox Smith, Director Nubi, and to Cuff, wherever he is. And to all the lovely callers, those on social media, Facebook, Real Media TT, those who on YouTube, Real Media TT. Good morning, teacher, everyone. Yesterday, I tried to get in to make a little thing. I was cut off. I don't know, possibly I called too late or I get the call too late. But sometimes I just try to call Andy Williams directly to, talk to and to give certain information. And he don't answer my call. And when it come into WhatsApp, you just see numbers, you see in faces because my profile have a face.
I cut you. Again, I would not deliberately see somebody calling me and I call answer. It may be I'm in a situation that I can't. Or they want to bring back a whole set of stupidness again. Or call and give all your contribution. What's your contribution? All right, you get through. Look, it's played. What's the contribution? Let me keep focus. All right, next WhatsApp, man. Don't answer, but answering you. I don't play, but you're getting, but your thing playing. Well, let's stop that. That is bringing kuchu. That is fighting on all your own. That is the statement. You say your own flea bite here. Come on, man. The program is a very busy program. Plenty people calling. Sometimes when you call in, others calling the same time and others calling the same time, and it had to be managed.
I hope that wasn't a recent one, because of course I think we had put that behind us last week and even yesterday. That kind of accusation without verification or ratification, I mean, is just presumptions that does not bear any place in reality.
Let's go to the call. Morning, caller.
Andy, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, but I don't have much to say, but I don't want to provoke you this morning, but it's true. Sometimes I just be calling and you, like, I don't know if you see my profile picture and you don't want to answer me. I don't know, but some people just, and then get through faster. But anyway, for the Petrotrin thing, that is our Petrotrin, and we want our Petrotrin back. And we don't want this government to sell our Petrotrin because that is for our future generations to come. That is taxpayers' money that built that, right? The Texaco people was running it. They had handed it over to Trinidad and Tobago. When they handed it over, right after there was an explosion in one of the jetties. I used to tell you, sometimes Trinidadian can't run nothing, and you see for AV drilling, you have no say over Petrotrin. You're not the owner of Petrotrin, neither Rowley or his cabinet. Petrotrin belongs to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and we do not want to sell. We're going to stand up for it. We're going to, take authority over what is ours, because God bless us with our natural resources. You go tell me we have Petrotrin. We could have be like little Dubai. We could be multi-millionaires, right? You want to sell with Petrotrin to a man from quite India? You don't know nothing about, because we have a government. Every time you ask him something, he can't remember. He don't know. He don't think so. So if we have a prime minister who running this country, can't remember anything, don't know this, don't know that, he ain't know what's going on, get the hell out of office. You and your ministers, right? Get the hell out of office. Or they're not serving no purpose here. Look, it's 9 years going in 10 years. And what have happened to Trinidad and Tobago? We have collapsed. under this government and people not,
Hey, Beulah.
you know, they're not
Beulah.
doing anything. They only
Beulah.
think it. Yeah?
Let me give you a perfect example. Look, right now you talking. Look, I seen Carnage talking. So what do? Cut you and take Carnage? I want to know. Well, all right. Look, when Teddy might have been talking. And while Teddy talking, you might be calling. But what do? Cut Teddy and take you? So that is what goes on. That's what goes on.
All you have to say, Beulah, there's someone else in the line. But I mean, you don't have to cut off anybody. So Beulah, Miss Carnage in the line.
No, not a cut off. Not a cut off. No, I was just being sarcastic. No, not a cut off, Beulah. Just being sarcastic to show you. Look at how Carnage is calling. And look, you on the phone. I can't answer Carnage until you finish. And then other callers will come in, then he will give up, and then he might come and tell me what you tell me. He might say, well, Andy, you see me calling, and you ain't answer, but not knowing you on the phone. You on the phone.
Right, the reason why I'm telling you that is because my money is done by calling. Sometimes you don't make a call. Soon as it rings and it just cut off, all your money done in phone. That's the reason why. But I just want to leave one thing we're trying to make.
Go ahead.
Yes, the Bible says that when the wicked rules, the people mourns. When the righteous rules, the people rejoice. Okay, Andy.
Thank you very much. So that is what my God is working mysterious ways. And we get a perfect example. So in the future, please, don't call Andy Williams the pitbull to tell me I not answering all you. Or I have something against all you. Look, a perfect example happened there. Miss Beulah on the phone, Mr. Carnage calling. What to do? I have to let Miss Beulah finish her contribution. And if within the time Miss Beulah finish her contribution, well then, boom, look, he calling back now. Boom, it's clear. Now I organize and I can answer Carnage. But sometimes, you know, that is when some people talking long too. What is going on is, some people go get fed up and then they're ringing while it have other people on the phone that I can't just cut them off. And then they go say, well, hey, you know, Andy seen that number, boy, and Andy wouldn't have answered the phone. But look how long I call 9 times. But unfortunately, every time you call, somebody already on the line. So what to do? On many occasions, you know what others do? When it's not busy, and I see missed call WhatsApp, I just call back the numbers. Ask some of them callers. I just call back some of the numbers of the people that did not get in. So long as WhatsApp though, because WhatsApp free. So I just go all lengths.
So it's a perception that doesn't exist, people.
Exactly.
It simply doesn't exist. We have repeatedly said that we are not the host that would deliberately prevent someone from having their say. This is you. This program is about you and you alone. Interactiveness is critical to the success of the Ground Report so far, and it will continue to be because it is the format. So don't ever sell yourself short, and don't believe that somehow you are being victimized.
And you know what hurt me? But Lennox, them and all, they see how I just try to cut you on all first, them important. And Lennox never call, and one kind of thing.
Yeah, I just have to tell you, hold on. I want to finish. In order to think sometimes I feel like the orphan and the bastard child on this program. So it is a matter of management. Andy is in charge of central control, if you want to call it that, and has been given the responsibility to manage how the program proceeds within, of course, the parameters that he would have been given, and the 3 hours that we have, advertisement and other factors notwithstanding.
Nice.
Okay.
So let's continue. The only thing, let me concentrate on when we're going out on the road now. Are you all ready? Or only realize the pitbull moved different today? Since yesterday.
Pleasant good morning, brothers.
Morning.
Pleasant good morning. Pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, Andy Williams, pleasant good morning to you, brother.
Nice.
Pleasant good morning to everybody. Trinidad and Tobago, pleasant good morning. Andy, it is time for Trinidad and Tobago and time for us the opposition supporters to stop getting on like fools and start to focus on the task ahead, Andy.
Yes.
Andy, it is time. It is 9 years now we're in opposition. And why when it's 2024, all of a sudden is a set of bickering and fighting and telling and things. Let we overs them thing, please, all here, please. Right? I not on that. Me I call for that. I call to make a contribution. So I would like Trinidad and Tobago, please listen to my contribution, right? Don't study Brother Khanat, listen to the message. Right? Because we don't want no Indian in power. They don't want the Indian in power. But all the big institutions, all the government institutions and them in Trinidad and Tobago, Indian running them. Indian seeing about this. All the mishap, the bouncing up, the Auditor General is an Indian. The chambers, the man at chambers is in India. All the big institutions is Indian. All they ask, all they say, why they don't want the Indian to run Trinidad and Tobago? Why in the education system, the Indian always first? Why? Tell me why. Why we dealing with race, Trinidad and Tobago? Tell me I listening only. I want all to tell me why we can't make a proper decision. It is time. So what they do? All they want to stay down, fight against amongst ourselves, and go down for 60 months again under this PLM. Only come on, Trinidad and Tobago. I ain't no war with nobody. Me ain't fighting no war with nobody. Me ain't nothing against nobody. I just have one mission, and my mission is to help get rid of the People National Movement for the oppression they're handing down on people. Tobago take a stand, and it's time Trinidad and Tobago take a stand. Don't matter what they give me, don't matter what they put on the table, take it, and when the time reach, vote them out. That's what I chat to see this morning.
And it's that, like that, man. Why waiting on still? Let's stay here. What next? Are we just going down for the next year and something? Till 2025 just talking? Like we show by no 120. I show them looking to sell that refinery before that. They go make sure they lease out that land. They go sign off that land for the panmen and them they too. All of that. Get them all of that quick. Them gonna make sure seal all deals before the election. You know? That can leave us with nothing. Well, they keep focus. Inside tell all you since morning. I ask, are you ready? It look like everybody happy. Just doing the same thing over and over and really expecting different results. Just by the few callers that come across, some people will. But most, it's just about talking, talk shop. Can't change our government over talk alone, you know. We can't. The lines are open to you all, man. What says thou? What's on your front burner? What's supposed to make news that not making news? Have the weather slow you all down? While we're waiting for rainy season to finish, and then we will go back out? I don't know. Hey, Marilyn. Tommy, good morning. Dunsan, good morning. Michael. All of you, Nadira. All of you that are locked on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube. Let's go to the lines before I take a break again. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Andy. Calling from Tobago East. A long time you ain't call you all, boy. I ain't getting in touch with you all.
Yes, Tobago East.
Good morning to you. Welcome.
How you going, man? Well, boy, I get a lot of ponging for that weather going there. Actually, because you know I do into the agriculture business, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have my whole place get totally destroyed. And all not so much for the weather, but all because of a white man who have his money and he could steal all kind of people. They do a lot of stupidness. He come and he excavate an area where it have been for years a windbreaker because that area is facing the Atlantic Ocean, right? So these windbreakers have been put in place there, but he did that and cleared the area without even a court order and not even any kind of authorization from these people that are in charge of these kind of things. Like the THA have these people environmental people. He have no clearance from them, nothing at all, and he destroyed the whole place. So what happened? Instead of the breeze going over the windbreaker, the breeze went through the area where you removed the windbreaker. The whole place, not only that, the whole area, the road have been collapsed. The road will collapse from on top and cover. Right now, part of the road is totally covered with slush. So it's a problem for me, and not only that, and he actually landlocked me in my property. Just because he come to me to purchase the land, and I tell him, I says, this land is family land, and that can happen. So he tried to force me into doing so by landlocking my place. So right now my place is in total destruction. All my crops totally destroyed because of this white American.
Wow.
And there are people in Tobago who is lawyers and who is surveyors that do a lot of illegal things to people here in Tobago. And it's time the government and the THA step in and do something about it. Because this man can't come from America and just come here and talking about his mother inheritance. How come you could walk in a country and talking about your mother inheritance and you've been granted a visa to be here because of that? How that could happen? He's an American citizen. His papers not even correct yet, and his whole entitlement of land here in Tobago here. And there's a lot of nonsense going on here. And there are a lot of surveyors involved. There's a man, especially who he is involved with, is in a lot of wrongdoings in Tobago here. As a matter of fact, that man is go all about and just do so, and we call a mapping. You don't see him, you know. You just go and map it behind your back, and it's survey land behind your back, and next thing you know, these people get dead. And that's what happened to me. Because nobody never come to me and inform me that they're going to survey no way. It's one day I see this man, I ask him, I say, what's going on? He say, he doing some survey. I say, how are you doing some survey? And there's no notification anywhere or nothing in the media or nobody ever come to me. How come you do that? And there are people around here. This is a whole land grab going on with this man here, and they have to do something on it, either deport him or something, because you cannot be coming to a country and be doing these things and getting on. There's no.
Wow.
Right?
But inheritance, all right, he's an American citizen, but inherit from a Tobagonian.
No, his mother had an estate here, and I don't believe his mother had full citizenship here. He was granted a part-time citizenship to go and come. I don't know what is his status, because I understand he married an Indian woman, but you know, people go into countries and married family people just to get papers. What I understand right now, he's a doctor and working in the Roxburgh Hospital. You hear what I'm telling you?
All right.
So you see what's going on in Tobago. So everybody doing all kind of nonsense here. But I am going to get to the root of this thing, because the land that I am on, it is a family generation land, bought it since 18-something. His mother purchased the land in the late part of 1960s. So you can't tell me that I don't have no access to my road, eh? Because this generation I'm talking about, my great-grandfather bought the land. I am over 60 now. My father didn't bought it. My grandfather didn't bought it. My grandfather bought the land. And that is since 18-something. Since around 1845 or somewhere around there. I am speaking about.
Wow.
So you see, there are wrong things that are going on in Tobago. And there are people who, just because of money, they will do anything to get money in Tobago. There are surveyors doing that in Tobago. And there are lawyers doing that also. For the sake of money. They will fleece anybody for what they want.
All right.
So I let everybody know, let the world know what is taking place with these people in Tobago here.
All right, thank you so much for your information.
Mr. Tobago, could you call me after the program now?
I will do that.
Yeah, I'll appreciate that. And let's see if we could maybe get to the bottom or find a way to treat it. Because I'm very concerned about whether or not there are a facilitation for persons like yourself whose crops would have been destroyed, and if the THA would have put some kind of fund or some kind of mechanism in place to compensate, because farming is crucial for Tobago and Trinidad. Is an exercise that we cannot ignore, having regard to the fact that we have to look at food security, quite apart from energy security, as far as the oil refinery is concerned.
Nice. Oh boy. Next caller. Morning.
Morning. Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, Lennox, and Mikey. Hey, Ollie noticed something. Since 2015, right? Look, Kamala and them leave 12.6 billion, right? And 7.7 in the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, right? And just imagine Rowley and them coming to office and look at the state of the country and look at the state of everything. Instead of we go forward, we're going backwards. Backwards right through, you know. Right? But you can't listen to Rowley and them how to make a jail in this country, you know. Rowley and Imbo, that Dwayne, that colonizer, them have to make a jail in this country, boy. No, you want to sell refinery. So what happens? So Trinidad, they're stupid then. So we don't know how to run a refinery. Huh? Oh, it's only the Indian know how to run a refinery, so we don't know about refinery. Boy, this is we own, boy. This is our own. You want to sell refinery, but you want to make a jail by Rowley, boy, and it's that.
Go ahead, caller. Morning. Oh boy, connecting. Oh boy. Next caller. While you're connecting there, like you gotta call back a caller. Morning, caller.
Morning, gentlemen. Calling from the Barrackport. Gentlemen, this is why we saying over and over and over. It's only when things come knocking on the door, personally, then we calling out to complain and to look for help and assistance from all kind of people and things. Rowley selling out the country from under our eyes, under of our soul. He's taking away the heart beat of Trinidad and Tobago. They don't sell the pitch lake. They come in the ground and sell out the petrotrin. And nobody is coming up and thinking about, hey, hear what? This is the future for our children and our family and all kind of thing. Where all it is be to come and make a stand. When somebody come now and doing something wrong to you, now we're looking to come out and make a issue about it. But this is where you had to start to put your foot down. You had to look at the bigger picture, and then it trickled down to you that if the government could do it and the citizen accept it, what would stop a layman from doing it to you? And these were people that get to the head. You had to fight for your country, and everything else is falling.
The Baba, you realize that I was quiet? Because like it's just the same thing over and over, boy.
You know, when people, let me tell you something. If one man thief from someone's house and he gets away and nobody does nothing, and next man go say, hey, hear what? You know, I could try that because that man with thief now go and tell a partner, you know, the other I went and put on a walk, then I get with all the jewelry and gold and thing. This next one go down and look to do that too. If he gets away, he spread the talk. So when you're seeing from on top the illegal things that going on to our country and the people, and nobody have nothing to say, they're accepting it. A layman now go say, you see me? Let me go and see if I could squat in a man land and take where he have and nothing ever happen. And these are the things were going on in this country. Nobody wants to say, hey, enough is enough, and we have to stop this thing from where the root cause starts, which is the government on top. And that's why we in this situation and where we are today in this country, you know, because everybody just accepting what is taking place, and then when things happen to them, they come in now and calling Andy, they calling Lennox, they calling Mikey K, they calling all over the place for help. But all you're helping all yourself. So why it is now the population now go come and say, hey, let me stand together, this is wrong. And let me just mention one thing about that storm business. Eh? The most concerning aspect of any natural disaster is the loss of lives. House and roads and wherever could build back and kind of thing. So anytime you hear a major storm or something, they say we had 5 loss of lives, 10 loss of lives. Some more people get injured and things. Earthquake, everything that has happened. We didn't have a storm, and within 2 days of preparing for that storm, it had 5 murders in this country, and was normal. The storm hit Grenada, the storm hit all them other islands. Not one life was lost. We didn't even have we had a storm warning, and we lost 5 lives in this country. And this
well said. I like how you put it across the
Bible.
Bible.
Not concerning, not probably one or two roof was blown off or some kind of thing and got a little small flooding, and not one concern was brought up. Idiot Dotishman Rowley didn't even feel it comfortable for it to address the nation to tell them, hey, hear what? So and so is the case. But we had 5 lives lost in this country and is like normal again. All them countries would have trade whatever disaster they have in their country so that not one of their citizens would have lost their life within that storm. We didn't even have a storm. We lost 5 lives and it's life thing like normal. And then Dotishman Rowley now will come and talk as such stupidness to try to blame the population like if we are the ones who are responsible for the safety and the security of people in Scotland. You hear the Dotish press conference he had? All you had to talk to all your children, all you had to start to be more better people and more patriotic citizens and all kind of dotishness in this country. I'm a patriotic citizen, but why my life, why I have to be fearful of my life and my family all the time for? It's not because you have a police service, you have a protective service, you have the control of the national security that's supposed to make me and give me this confidence in my home and my land, being a patriot and a law-abiding citizen, that I could feel safe. I was outside the country for a couple of weeks. And let me tell you something. I wear jewelry. I went anywhere I wanted to go. I do everything up. And not one concern of, hey, you know, somebody could lock your neck and rob you or anything like that. And that is why, you see, people in this country have to wake up and understand to get rid of this dotish, illiterate, stupid government. We planted our seed, Eric Williams seed that we reaping over and over and over, and people wanted to decide that, oh, there's a poison weed in this country. We had to dig it out. We had to get a spray with gramazone, spray with lanate, get rid of that. Otherwise, this country have no future. Absolutely none. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Next caller, morning caller.
Morning,
Indeed,
Malcolm
how
X on the
appropriate.
line here.
Go ahead, Malcolm X.
Hey, Barapo. Boy, I ain't lying. I could kiss you this morning, boy. I could kiss Karanaj. Because let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. We just imagine the brother really talk the truth, no? Nobody lost their life in the storm or no hurricane, nothing, and we balling God is a Trini. But 5 people dead, boy. Trinidad. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Andy. Morning, Mikey K. Andy, let me tell you something. You see, when you're doing something good, evil is follow you. And you see the people who weak and don't have faith and strength, they will attack the truth. So don't take on about who call and who ain't call. We have something more important than that. It's to get rid of this government. Right? Rowley must align himself with an Indian man. All of them corrupted. Corruption, it come like if you is a priest, go line with priest. If you is a thief, who you go line with? So when we check it out, a gangster go line with a gang leader. And right now, we country so corrupted that it's showing you where corruption is legal in this country. Trinidad and Tobago, you know, the Prime Minister talking about getting out the corrupted police with corruption and the police this and who not supposed to be in the service. But you know, you ain't talking about inboth and them who not supposed to be in government with $3 billion he can answer for. You know, they ain't talking about that. And the next thing I want Trinidadians to wake up. When it had the common entrance and the papers, you used to know the points of your children. And people who realize that the money people children was just floating in with less points than them children. And they used to get in all the big college and prestige school and all them things. And the man child will have all the points used to end up in junior sec. Now they put it online. So it have a easy sailing now for who have money to get the children in the school away the choice. So don't get fooled by Gaspy Dolly and this modeling Minister of Education. Because when you're talking about the points drop in the education system, it dropped. the grades on them drop, right? The crime in school, the weed smoking in school, everything in school break down. And every time you see you like in a beauty passion. And this is where we children have to go through because it have no plan. No plan. And if people in Trinidad and Tobago don't get, that's why you see I don't call every day, because I like to put everything. I'm talking to the police now. Just as how Rowley want to fire all you and lock all you up, it's time for you to start to lock up politicians who corrupt and who in crime. Don't tell me who in a drug this and who in that and I'm ministering this and I'm ministering that. All you start locking them up because they go lock up all you. That's to the police and them. Right? And you see, Rowley, he must condone corruption because it's the worst corruption in this country. So Andy, let me tell all you something. All you have a work to do. And the work we have to do is to get rid of this government because, partner, if this government stay in power for another 5 years, Tech, Wassa, you see all them public utilities we owned by we, just like Petrochin, HDC and all them place, where they don't have everybody on contract.
They go sell out
and Rowley done. Boy, all you, wake up Trinidad and Tobago, this thing bigger than we. This thing is not watching one another and watching who to call in and who to this and who to that and Camilla and UNC. Because every time you ask the government something, instead of they look to correct the wrong, they looking to tell you. Just imagine, all you talking about the Indian man we come in here, we corrupted, and them telling you about Lee. Where Lee have to do with this Indian man we come in here? So you trying to tell me, all right, a man have crime thing pending over his head, so it's all right to bring a man from outside. They corrupt? Boy, let me tell all you something, brother. It ain't no lie, you know. Me ain't fear, you know. I go in anywhere in Trinidad anyhow. Me ain't fear, you know. Because anybody put God out their thoughts and make me or my family cry. Them have to cry too, and all. You have a nice day, boy.
No, before you go, I wonder people watching what's going on. We have a cabinet and a government. We ain't doing nothing for me. What ministry working? Or let's check it. But all we seeing with that cabinet is them either selling out we thing or thief, you know, just selling, them just selling, boy. Fine, selling, die. Them is salesmen, boy.
Andy, the order of the day. People who personally know Rowley, he likes nobody. Because up to now, as a Tobagonian, you're not getting people the truth with our boat, with turnover, with our oil, and it start back leaking something again. So if he was really a loyal man to your own people and country, he would have come out and deal with that. Because you know why? Let me tell you something now. That oil boat will turn over there, and they can't find the owner. The shareholders right here in Trinidad, you know. But health ain't working. You get a report, the Minister of Health, he's still lying. National Security, Gerard Hines still waving Irasta wig. Right? Local government, Arari on TV last night talking with the die here. But yet still, the grass falling up in the dry river. You understand? But all you're talking about PPA. Boy, Andy, let me tell you something. As we bar upon people saying, boy, the intelligent people in this country, I ain't talking about intelligence with book, you know. The people with common sense in this country. If you seeing, we have a government that's not managing, and you watch at Kenya, where them talking, the African place, if I can call the correct name, Kenya, where the people protest against high prices and the government doing things where not in favor of them. You know, the president had to back contract. He had to reverse everything and look to step down. So according to Barpo, if everybody just studying Borode, we studying Carnival, and they have we on a drink and drunk mentality, smoke weed anyway, and them reaping all the benefit, When Rowley and Inboat and all of them done fix the business, they're leaving all of you like crab here to kill one another, you know. And it's nothing with Indian and Negro, no. It's black people, you know, because you see the 1%, them done looking to go Guyana, them done looking to follow where the money going already. So Andy, calling demonstration, how many people is come out? And when Paul say, only when things affect a Trinidadian, then he is going to come out. This whole country supposed to be outside there, you know. Because Rowley and them doing things where we ain't vote them for. We never vote to sell no refinery because he gave reassurance it is not to sell. So why it is now? You're selling that and you plan for Wassa and you plan for this one. Why let me cut it
but
short?
All them plans is to sell. Thank you, Malcolm X. All. This government is all about selling. It's about land. It's about selling Petrotrin. It's about selling Clico assets. It's like whoever we have, them just want to sell. And the things with the meat what we have was working for us, making money. As them reach it, it can't make money to sell. Come on, man. We go for a quick break and come back. When we come back more, Lennox Smith, you look out for my call now. When we come back more, right here on the Going Report, we'll be back.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Looking for top quality and affordable hardware supplies? Then look no further than Mitlin Hardware, number 97 Eastern Main Road, Arouca. We stock a wide range of tools, water tanks, blocks, lumber, steel, and everything you need for your home and business project. Check out our new display of steel windows and assorted designs of metal curtain rods. Mitlin also stockpiles sand, gravel, topsoil, and more. We have a variety of kitchen faucets, face basins, and toilet sets, bathroom mat sets, all garden tools, hand tools, generators, power washers, and water pumps. Customers can make payments via links, credit card, online payment, and cash on delivery. WhatsApp 327-7761 for free quotations, or give us a call at 646-2144. Open every day, Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. From foundation to finish, it's all at Mitlin.
A lucky homeowner will win a brand new car. Yes! A brand new Mitsubishi Expander Cross. Yes, park in your 4-vehicle parking space. Limited availability. Get in a gear with DG Homes' newest gated community, Daniel Estate. The oasis of Cunupia will satisfy your needs for a new lifestyle. Beautifully designed, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, modern interior, sophisticated finishings, with superbly manicured landscaped green spaces, front and backyard included, starting at $1.65 million. Call now and book a viewing. 691-5659. Beautiful home, beautiful car, beautiful life. Home is DG Homes, Daniel Estate, Cunupia.
Hey, you! Yes, you! Need quality printing at affordable prices? Then look no further. At Graphic Source, we've got you covered. Take your project to the next level for all your designs and printing needs. From t-shirt printing to labels, signs, and banners. Look no further. Business stamps, flyers, tickets, and invites, just to name a few. With 2 convenient locations. Eastern Main Road, St. Augustine, opposite Massey Stores. And Arima Shopping Center, Broadway Street, Arima. Contact us today. 342-2664, 270-0428, or 360-8917. Graphic Source, your #1 source. You name it, we design it and print it.
Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open for breakfast and lunch. 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 67 Western Main Road, St. James, opposite Standards. Serving local breakfast items like sada, pies, fry and roasted baked, with all your favorite fillings and assorted lunches. Available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Get pilau as low as $25 or get combination lunches from $20. $25 to $40. Crab and dumpling on Fridays, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Soup Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. A la carte with burgers, fries, nuggets, gyros, loaded hot dogs. Just about anything you could think of. From 6 p.m. Sunday to Sunday. For more information, call 382-9347 to place your order. Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open 7 days a week at St. James.
A lucky homeowner will win a brand new car. Yes! A brand new Mitsubishi Expander Cross. Yes, park in your 4-vehicle parking space. Limited availability. Get in a gear with DG Homes' newest gated community, Daniel Estate. The oasis of Cunupia will satisfy your needs for a new lifestyle. Beautifully designed, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, modern interior, sophisticated finishings, with superbly manicured landscaped green spaces, front and backyard included, starting at $1.65 million. Call now and book a viewing. 691-5659. Beautiful home, beautiful car, beautiful life. Home is DG Homes, Daniel Estate, Cunupia.
Put food on your table. ADC is affordable. Shop at ADC Supermarket, Cleaver Road. A very comfortable and clean environment. These prices are unbelievable. Come see for yourself. We have the best alcohol prices. Don't miss out. Get those specials on liquor. Put food on your table with ADC Supermarket, conveniently located at number 4 Cleaver Road in Arima. Every Friday and Saturday is real vibes and live entertainment from your very own DJ Christian on Friday and Saturday. Everyone is talking about ADC Supermarket. Shop in comfort and in a clean environment with the best prices for all your grocery needs. Secured parking. Remember, free delivery. Put food on your table. ADC is affordable. ADC Supermarket, number 4 Cleaver Road in Arima.
Hey, you! Yes, you! Need quality printing at affordable prices? Then look no further. At Graphic Source, we've got you covered. Take your project to the next level for all your designs and printing needs. From t-shirt printing to labels, signs, and banners. Look no further. Business stamps, flyers, tickets, and invites, just to name a few. With 2 convenient locations. Eastern Main Road, St. Augustine, opposite Massey's Stores. And Arima Shopping Center, Broadway Street, Arima. Contact us today. 342-2664, 270-0428, or 360-8917. Graphic Source, your number 1 source. You name it, we design it and print it.
Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open for breakfast and lunch. 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 67 Western Main Road, St. James, opposite Standard. Serving local breakfast items like sada, pies, fry and roasted baked, with all your favorite fillings and assorted lunches. Available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Get pilau as low as $25 or get combination lunches from $25 to $40. Crab and dumpling on Fridays, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Soup Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. A la carte with burgers, fries, nuggets, gyros, loaded hot dogs. Just about anything you could think about. From 6 p.m. Sunday to Sunday. For more information, call 382-9347 to place your order. Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open 7 days a week at St. James.
The big question today, how much will my electricity bill increase? Stop worrying. Act now. Replace your bulbs with energy efficient LED bulbs now available at Trinity Light. When you purchase 4 60-watt LED bulbs for $112.50, you get 2 absolutely free. That's right. Absolutely free. Or purchase 3 100-watt LED bulbs for the same price and get 1 100-watt LED bulb free. Trinity also has the following option. Purchase 2 4-foot LED tube or 1 8-foot or 2 LED colored bulbs for the same price, $112.50. At Trinity, we also stock specialty items and a wide range of electrical supply for all your household, medical, marine, commercial, and much more. Any hard-to-find bulbs or parts, we can source it locally or internationally. Check us out at 123 Western Main Road in St. James. Call 628-8373, WhatsApp 461-8620, or email trinityetc@yahoo.com.
Andy is momentarily, of course, delayed. He will rejoin us in a moment. But that being as it may, of course, the time check is just about 22 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. As we continue, of course, to treat with the matters, of course, till he returns. Let's hope short, but of course, it's due to circumstances beyond his control, and therefore it behoves on me to, of course, keep the fire lit. Whilst, of course, we return to waiting to return to normalcy. That being as it may, I'm very impressed, of course, with the callers. I've always said that. I think you are very familiar with the issues on whom we rely. Or the truth to be of a extremely high standard. So, or otherwise, or put another way, maybe more appropriately, things that they will not want us to share with the population, but inimical to the interests of the population, particularly those who hold a serious and high public office, from the Prime Minister, go right back to his ministers and his kitchen cabinet. I consider those persons who are in chairmanship and directorship of various state enterprises and, of course, institutions, so to be, and therefore doing a very good job. But once again, I want to commend the contributions of those callers. Of course, the last two callers just before the break have taken, of course, the standard to another level in terms of the analysis and in terms of the reality, of course, of the whole concept of the synopsis, that synopsis, that we all very, should I say, prevalent in Trinidad and Tobago, the consequences of corruption. In other words, we are seeing, of course, the manipulation of our commercial system. We are seeing the manipulation of our financial system. We are seeing, of course, the abuse and the misuse and the disinformation associated with the poor administration of our country across the board, whether it be in the area of agriculture, whether it be in the area of education, whether in the area of the serious, with us, it was placed by Mr. Laukita. That has been on the table for some time. I think he has augmented it, increase it with, of course, an additional $1,000, $2,000 to say, if anyone can say which ministry under the Rowley that the delivery has met the talk and objective with that of delivery. Of course, the answer is clear that, of course, no one can safely or in any way promote any one of the ministries under this administration. And of course, wise, of course, Dr. Rowley and they, even with the advent of the midterm review of the budget of 2024, would, of course, pat themselves on the chest and of course give themselves kudos and credit for situation that they would try to project by way of propaganda, of course, and part of their what I consider to be their illusions and the delusions in course, where of course the people have a disconnect with reality, manic depressive psychosis. It is called more appropriately, that's the phrase, manic depressive psychosis, where of course all of them, all of government, all of the ministers, including the prime minister in particular, beset with this malady, where of course they're trying to sell us something that is not the reality of Trinidad and Tobago and our own experiences. And I wanted, of course, to get an opportunity, and I think I hope that I'll be able to complete before and the returns, and that is, of course, I started with demonstrating that no way the PNM can prove, or any one of us can prove, that the UNC was corrupt in the way that Dr. Rowley and they have demonstrated. And of course, I did in fact make the point and make the comparative analysis between mega projects. And I spoke, of course, in the case of the PNM, whether it be Brian Lara, whether it be the Diplomatic Center, whether it be SAPA, NAPA, and of course, in the case of the UNC, I spoke of the aquatic center, the velodrome, the hospital, and of course the creme de la creme. All of those schools were all 107, and not one iota of corruption. And of course, I spoke of course the exceptions, but I want to speak to another aspect of the corruption that is clearly a part and parcel of what I consider to be the playbook of this administration, but of course would not confess, would project, as I said, that manic depressive syndrome, that manic depressive psychosis of which I referred to earlier. That is to say, people totally disconnected to reality, but of course will concoct and generate what is sometimes called gaslighting episodes, where they try to convince you of something that is not real, but will try to project it in a way, because they are doing it, because they have control of certain mechanisms of delivery, such as the traditional media, whether it be newspaper, whether it be the television, and visual, and of course utilizing the social media platforms in order to get their trolls to project something that is unreal to Trinidad and Tobago. But I want to tell you that where this government has attempted to indict the last administration, talking about the Kamala Prasad Bisesa administration, even that has fallen short of what one would have expected as corruption, as defined and as expected, and with the level of proliferation or the repetitiveness that Dr. Rowley and they will, of course, now be and have been engaged in, meaning that they say that without proof and hoping that somehow that propaganda would stick, something like mortar on a wall, the plaster, and the hope that the entire thing will stick. Well, let us further examine that. Where they would have conjured up, and I use conjure up here in a very specific way, that is to say, they have manufactured it. It is a figment of their imagination, clearly having regard to the outcome, but it would have had initial credit for them in terms of attempting to prove that the last administration under Kamala Prasad Bisesa was corrupt. And I'm talking here with a high degree of specificity. I'm talking about, of course, the Brent Thomas matter. We have seen, but that may not be directly connected to the last administration, so I will pass that very, very quickly. But of course, I go on to, of course, the Vincent Nelson matter. I think this is the creme de la creme, quite apart from, of course, the fake oil issue, which, of course, the present administration, and I blame the present administration for discontinuing that investigation, simply because we have a situation where Dr. Rowley arrogantly, contemptuously, and recklessly put his personal lawyer to chair as chairman of the entity that would have, of course, have all the evidence, paper and otherwise, with respect to that fake oil matter. Put his personal lawyer there, and it is no surprise that the arbitration results is what it is, and that AV has been exonerated to a point where they get back the same contract or similar ones, as well as got compensation. Of course, we on the ground report said, and I told, of course, Maraj that, Lawrence Maraj, when I met with him on the subject, that we are not here to condemn AV drilling. If they would have produce oil that is verifiable, certainly they must be paid for that. But certainly where the fake oil aspect of it is concerned, then of course there must be some criminal and, or if necessary, civil sanctions for attempting to try to defraud the state. That is where we have been and still is. And however, that investigation, as far as we know, and of course, up to when the last substantive commissioner of police, I'm talking about the head of NTA, Gary Griffith, was commissioner of police. He told us that they were waiting on experts to measure tank fills and how and the amount of oil that a particular tank could consume. In other words, some expert dealing with oil tanks, those storage tanks, and their capacities and how it is measured and so on. And of course, in other words, we were of the view that that investigation, that aspect of the investigations, would have continued. And what we are seeing is that a definite silence on the part of not just this acting commissioner, but the one that preceded her. And therefore, in our view, we can only conclude that it is not being pursued because the government doesn't want it to be pursued, in spite of their denial. So we know that is superficial, that is superfluous, and by now we should know it's part of their propaganda, disinformation, misinformation agenda. But the fact of the matter is that it is clear that if a criminal investigation was initiated and there is no conclusion, and of course the substantive commissioner of police is no longer there, and he has been, of course, touting nothing to different to what we know. It means, therefore, that is a clear case of the perversion of the criminal justice system by attempting to subvert a criminal investigation, and that by itself is serious indictment on the part of this administration.
So
but of course,
but under new government, would that be able to be dealt with?
Pardon me?
Under new government, would that be?
Yes. They can reopen that. Criminal investigations, by and large, are not subject to the statute of limitations. So therefore, it's a criminal matter, and one expects that it will be opened. And that is the point I was going to make, that they are attempting to avoid, of course, blue lights and silver bracelets going down. The only one quickly I would like to demonstrate in this vein of concocting perception of corruption on the last administration under Kamala Persad-Bissessar is that of the Vincent Nelson. I think that is important. And what it turned out, in a nutshell, I will, of course, elaborate on another occasion. But what came out there is that it was another fiction, another concoction, another manufacture of Dr. Rowley, and in attempt, of course, to make real to you and I, and to try to convince us that Kamala and the UNC between 2010 and 2015 were corrupt. It turned out to be a faux pas. It turned out to be spitting in the sky, and it fell in their faces. phantasmagorically.
We have a
and
few calls.
you notice you're hearing nothing about it again, simply because it was created, manufactured, similar to the emails that was, of course, and his cohorts before the 2015 elections and just after, and now, of course, it is no more. Go ahead, my friend. Andy?
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning again, Andy.
Good morning.
Lennox, there was no further need for any further investigation into the fake oil. And I'll tell you the reason for that. It's the top honchos, the president and the top, I don't know if it's the chairman of the board and all of them said that no oil was supplied to Petrotrin from B&B. So what the hell for the investigation? If these are the people at the top rank who controlling the show, telling you that it was fake, it is not true, no oil was supplied to Petrotrin by Baksh and people. What the hell? What more for the investigation there ought to be? This is the people who have all documentation and everything. So there was no need for that. But you see, this had to be something because, as I say, the investigation into this fake oil, which the Prime Minister is alleged to be involved in, it had to be shelved. And they had to find some way, to make it look as though, and to prolong the agony. But there was no need for that, Lennox. Now let me get to this thing. I'm very serious about this Jindal fella business, And I'm still asking the question because from the charges laid by this against this man in India, or wherever, is that he has been bribing government officials and high people in office and whatnot, I think, to get in contract and getting things done and whatnot. And the reason why I'm saying this, Paula Gopi School, your son still have a matter in the court during the pandemic where he violated the law. Up to now, we are here, that matter come up a thing. But they say when you tell a lie, your mouth go twist. But like you lying like this, you're small. Because here's why I'm saying this. Minister of Trade and Industry, Paula Gopi School, and I want to believe money parcel, This is my avid concern. Because I can't see Rowley, I can't see Stuart Young, I can't see Paula Gopi School. All of them so thirsty to get in this contract for this man when you hear the allegation of bribe and corruption against the man. And hear what she say. Minister of Trade, Paula Gopi School, said that it's disappointing that the opposition would seek to create mayhem over the Indian businessman. And his family is a reputable one with wealth and capability. She went on to further say that if you do your research, you would understand the wealth and capability of Jindal family. What that had to do with this? You could be the richest man, you could be Bill Gates, you could be Donald Trump, and you could be involved in corruption. Does that give you the right for we, because of you're rich and you will be desperate and thirsty for money, and we don't know bribe his part, that all you want to put this country in this predicament, sell our main state asset to someone who under questionable circumstances? Lennox, again, let me come to the point. I was listening to the bail amendment bill yesterday, and Robert come up again with the whole damn nonsense about Section 34. And how that bill, because remember the bill, Section 34, was for all those who have been incarcerated, and 10 years and how much years in prison and whatnot. The trial could be heard speedily, and people who might be innocent and in jail, and let them go and whatnot, that thing. Rowley come up with the point, and I'll tell you why I'm making this point. He said that this was only to serve a few, and you know who he's talking about, the UNC financiers, Ishgal Barra and Singh and them fellas are them. But the majority of the people who are in the prison is the little black boy. It would have helped them. It would have eased up the prison and all this kind of thing. And the burden it would have caused to the state in the prisons and whatnot. But you don't see it as that the little black boy is being incarcerated. You just see it fit that they say there's a few, which is them fellas and them, Ishgal Barra.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Tunapuna. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's
because at the appropriate time, I will show where I am diametrically opposed to the fact that it is impossible that further investigation can take place with a new administration.
Go ahead,
as far as the fake oil is concerned. But let's go to the lines.
Yeah, calling from the south.
Go ahead, the south.
Go ahead, south. Yes.
Make sure that he sell the refinery before he come out in power, he will sell it. He do not want Kamala to have nothing when she come in there. That is the only thing going to. That is the.
We want we refinery. We want Kamala them when they come in power. We don't want to sell we refinery. We want we own refinery back.
That's right. That's right. We want we own thing that belongs to us. We know about oil. We have oil here. Rowley them cap it down, right? We need to start back with refinery. We want it, right? But this.
But even if we have to import,
yeah,
it is still viable. It is a net earner of foreign exchange. That is what Imbert eventually said after they did their shenanigans and their inimical act against the taxpayers of this country. In fact, India has the largest oil refinery in the world.
Yeah.
And they import they import a major part of the raw material, meaning that the oil for that refinery. Yeah. So that argument that Rowley gave is clearly not what is the reason why they close it down, and clearly wanting to get it back up and running now because he realizes that we are short change in terms of foreign exchange.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Oh boy, let's run off those calls. Before I run off that, I want to let me do something the one time. What is the lady name again for Panchin Bego? What's her name?
Ramsey Moore.
All right. Hold 1 minute, Trinidad and Tobago. Again, by all fairness, let's hear what Miss Ramsey Moore have to say about that land. Because I want to play something too from Anil Roberts, who at the end of the day was listening to the ground report and mentioned it. Based on the interview that we had with Dale Dalton and all of them. And Anil Roberts asked various questions to her in the parliament. So
you have reached the voicemail box of 1.
Again, to make sure we clear, Trinidad and Tobago, we are trying to get in contact. Just as last week, please God, we interviewed members, Mr. Ford Abubakar
and former executive members as well of Panchin Bego.
Nice. So
on the matter of the swap for land and office in Port of Spain.
But like she took off the phone. But it's normal, Miss Beverly.
You have reached the
voicemail box
of 1-868-350-0215. You can leave a message.
Oh, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play Anil Roberts, and then we're gonna try to get into executive member. We had to go on to somebody that was there when it coming to giving back that land. Yeah. Let's hear what it is Senator Anil Roberts had to say while listening to the ground reporting earlier about this situation. Let's hear. Oh boy, just now on the
land for the PAN, our national Miss Beverly Ramsey Moore, Panchin Bego, your land for the PAN, our national instrument. I asked you a question in a joint select committee on foreign affairs, but as everything in the parliament, they always try to rush and hush up the opposition. But I managed to get a question to you about the land that was given by Bastio Pandey for the PAN paternity, 13 acres, and the building. How could it be given away? Who was Keith Christopher Rowley to say that he given it away to an Indian businessman to do a cricket academy when we have the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, the most expensive academy in the world that teaches nobody anything about cricket? And you, in a joint select committee, when asked by me, Beverly Ramsey Moore, I asked you if your membership was consulted with, if it was a decision from the membership of Panchin Bego, and you said yes, the members were consulted. Well, I listened to the ground report this morning, and Gulston, former president, and Fuad Abubakar, member of Panchin Bego, says that there was no constitutional discussion or consultation about that you took it upon yourself to give the government and to negotiate with Rowley and the PNM to give away Trinbago land, to give away Panman land, to give away the people land that was given to the people of the National Instrument, 13 acres. I heard on the ground report this morning that your term was duly extended by a raise of hands, by a motion moved by some Mr. Williams in a meeting. Beverly Ramsey Moore, you have things to explain. You giving away people land? Where you come from? And to the members of the PAN fraternity, all you stop this man, stand up and unite. We have dictators all around to give away lucrative land. What you should be fighting for is for the government to finish the building, to create spaces for entrepreneurial brilliance, creativity, to give the PAN fraternity options to do business and mall and factory and produce PAN and develop that land so we, the people, can enjoy, respect and love our national instrument. Beverly Ramsey Moore, did you lie to me in the Joint Select Committee? All you watch this. Don't say the Douglas lie, you know. Bless. Watch it.
Can I just finally ask you, you said PAN is Trinidad and Tobago, it's all of us. What is the status, because I don't believe everything I read in the papers, you know that, right? What is the status of the national headquarters for PAN up there, the land in Orange Grove?
That land has been given to PAN Trinbago over the last 23 years. And the building that is there now, based on the reports that I have read, the integrity is compromised, so it's not good. Obviously, if you go in there to do anything, but within recent times, we have been having some discussions as to how we can move forward. Those discussions are taking place at this time to ensure that we have a brand new headquarters over the next 2-3 years. And PAN Trinbago really looks forward to that headquarters being completed.
Has the land and the headquarters been earmarked or given to anyone else for any other activity, whether cricket academy or any other usage?
I can tell you that the power and the decision making is in the hands of our members, and over the last few months our members would have agreed at one of our meetings to look at make alternative arrangements. And in the negotiations, we expect to have a brand new headquarters. In addition, we will continue to negotiate for additional land space to ensure that the various elements of the industry continues.
When you say members, how many members?
Member Roberts. Yes, no. We have other.
We must have a quorum. For decisions to be made, there must be a quorum.
Hold on.
Bang, 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 bang. Oh, Lord.
Where's boy Lennox Smith?
Yeah. Well, I understand Anna Robertson's concern about but there are rules, there are constraints. But I think we got enough to, of course, share with the population. The fact that she said that there were mechanism and there was a categorical agreement. One would have assumed that it would have been at the appropriate form. Of course, we got a different story with the 3 or 4 persons that we interviewed last week. Unfortunately, we were unable to get hold of her to explain and to, of course, pose some questions of our own to her this morning. We will try again because, as we said, every week we will try to leave a space for the PAN, and in particular where, of course, the PAN has now been officially given legal cloak, so to speak, by the Parliament in a recent, of course, piece of law that was passed recently. So we are looking forward to that. But of course, the idea is that she said that there was.
But hold, let me take some calls by the time
she
now.
She expects another headquarters to be constructed. I assume is the piece on Rising Road she's talking about, and another issue raised which I noted, and that is when the port is to be developed. What will happen to that piece of land that is clearly part and parcel or on the periphery of the port on the eastern side?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So Trinidad and Tobago, you all heard it. Now Joint Select Committee, what Miss Beverly said, compared to our interview with members of Pan Trinbago, ban owners and all those different things. For back, many people are saying nothing like that went on. Them happen to know about that. When they say when the Prime Minister mentioned it, when somebody mentioned it, I went to know. They know about it when the news, when it was spoken. Them didn't know all of that was going on. Yeah. Oh boy, let me take some calls.
So somebody please tell Annie Roberts to stop lying. Pan Trinbago was given 8 acres.
Oh God, whether how much acres or what?
And that is the obfuscation, and let me deal with that because it's similar to Rowley.
We will keep back talk. Remember, real people.
But what I'm saying is, when the mothballed first tranche that that plant, they said it was $4 million or $4 million or something like that, or $40 million, and they made a big heavy weather. The government that it should be Israeli $200 million. It doesn't matter. The fact is that is not the issue. The issue is the circumstances and whether or not it would benefit Trinidad and Tobago or benefit Pan Men. That is what that is about. I'm talking about train 1 in that LNG plant. That of course the opposition said it was $400 million that they allocated for something that they will never use. The government made a big heavy bet. No, it's not $400 million. It's $200 million. As if that is the issue. That is not the issue.
Nice.
The issue is whether or not the decision was made in the best interest of Pan Men. Do you understand that?
Nice.
Go ahead, my friend. Yes.
Oh boy.
Andy Lennox.
Go ahead.
As a set of hustlers we have here as ministers. They're only breaking down all the steel in the country and sending all the steel China. That man who is want to buy Petrochin, he's a steel man in India. Find out about his background good. Where steel and thing is concerned. Them want to come and buy Petrochin and they're going and clean up there. Watch all throughout Trinidad. Which part any iron structure going up, where's the government in charge? By the sell or they're about to sell. What I want to say, Lennox, it's not that in 2010 to 2015, Rowley won the general election on Camilla thief. Everybody come out and vote out Camilla because the Indian and them thief. Well, boy, look, they leave Rowley for 10 years. Look, Rowley thief in the Senate bowl with the eyes, and he again them nothing, and they want to give him the next 5 years again. So the one who thiefing and giving me there was she, and the one who thiefing and again me nothing, the was he. Trinidad is not a real place. Somebody had to be crazy in Trinidad and Tobago, boy.
The government of the day could get more support from the opposition to pass any bill. But at the end of the day, those 1%ers, these conmen society don't make no jail, they don't enforce law on them, and always the poor just make the poor always paying the price for everything. So unless we don't see these conmen going to the prison, for my part, they ain't bound to support a bill, they ain't bound to do nothing. Because at the end of the day, the poor man pay the cake here. The rich get away scot-free.
Oh boy, the big boy is free. Short and sweet caller, morning.
Morning again, Pitbull. Barack Paul here. Pitbull, let me explain a little something for this population to understand about when foreign investment come into your country. You see, when like people come and set up an all-inclusive hotel and your thing, like the Sandals and thing, the country don't really benefit anything from that. You might have a few hundred workers and thing working as like slave labor mentality for that company, and they just be paid in your local currency. But every transaction that has been made through like an all-inclusive hotel. Just be made in US. So the guests and the people who come into that resort, they don't go outside of that resort because everything is all-inclusive. Eats, drinks, everything, all the tours and everything that is be set up through the company. So you, before you book a stay in the hotel, you check and see, okay, you want to visit Maracas, you want to be this here. So the local don't really benefit any foreign exchange from that. They don't pay a little royalties or some kind of thing to the government, and that's it. Same thing with, like, when they sell out the steel, the Petrotrin. That company now will come and pay a small tax to the country. They can hire a few locals, but the money that they would be making would not benefit Trinidad and Tobago at all or the citizen. They might throw out a little few self-help program to say like, okay, we helping this community or some kind of thing like that. But it don't ever trickle down. Look, the perfect example right now is the pitch league. Trinidad and Tobago is paying for our own pitch, premium price in the world market. That means that if you go in France, you could pay the same price in France for pitch over there than you pay like you're paying in Trinidad and Tobago. So we are really benefiting nothing from that. Look at the state of the roads and all this kind of thing. So when they sell Petrotrin, and let me say we be purchasing at the pump fuel from Petrotrin, we will be paying like you're paying in America. We will be paying all like anywhere else in the world, and all the byproducts that they're making from that could be the same thing. So that alone show you that the country would not benefit absolutely nothing. And where else in the world you hear a refinery just bust, go bankrupt, they can't make a profit. If a man's planting alu and he making chips to sell the chips, he would make a profit. He wouldn't sell the chips the same price as the alu that he was the raw product. And we have oil, we have gas, we have everything to operate our Petrotrin, but benefit the country.
Plus the human resource.
If your manager cannot manage, how would the country go good? People, wake up and understand that. The management of Trinidad and Tobago by Rowley and the PNM from inception was bad for Trinidad and Tobago. Wake up. It have a future for this country under these people. Have a good morning. Take care.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. Morning caller, short and sweet. What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning? What's supposed to make news that not making news? Go ahead.
Good morning, Andy and Lennox. Okay, I'll tell you what making the news. There's an outbreak of dengue in South Trinidad, right? Government not saying anything about that. When last anybody see health officials pass by your homes, right? Before the general election in 2015, it had health officials passing and even giving you out chemicals wanting to treat your water and around your homes to get rid of mosquitoes. Now, there is no Ministry of Health apparently in this country anymore, Andy. Have a nice day.
And what is crucial is there somebody, because it's crucial to the previous caller. That is what will happen.
Let's have a caller there already, Lennox.
With kids. Look
Subsidy.
At that. Even Boston,
go ahead, caller. Sorry.
We had the biggest squeeze. When he funded with the kids, he decided to shift. They were going to jail him. He went to the Vatican to live until he died. So you see, we have them all over. Even the church and all, playing with the kids and them. So a thief must hang out with a thief. A mafia has to hang out with mafia. Rowley had to hang out with the mafia gang. Rowley had to hang out with Stop Young and Short Man, Imps Man. So you see, how come you're right? Stop here.
Nice. Boy. Yes, you were saying you want to clear something there quick.
The point crucial to this sale is what will happen to the subsidy. And if the subsidy is maintained, then the new owner will get that subsidy. It wouldn't benefit Trinidad and the Tobago in its totality as was the case when we owned the Petrotrin oil refinery. And that is crucial. Whether that will be maintained as small as it is, as reduced as it is now, whether or not that will be maintained is obvious. The man will be looking for his profit. And therefore, I cannot see him accepting the government suggestion that, listen, to the locals, sell your gas and other products from the refining process a little less than
than you would for others. I cannot see it. So we have to find out that critical aspect of it, the subsidy, which of course is reduced now, but still is implemented. The owner will get it as part of his or her profit.
Nice. Oh boy, let's.
Good morning. Play this for Mr. Porter Spain. It matters not whether it was 12 acres, 8 acres, 1 acre, 2 acres, or 100 acres given to Pantrinbago. The fact of the matter is that Pantrinbago under Beverly Ramsey Moore has taken a decision with the PNM to take away Panman land, to take away Panman opportunity, to take away respect for Panman, to take away wealth from Panman. And if an Indian businessman from India who have nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago can be gifted 30 acres, including the 12 that belong to Pan, then the 30 acres is available for Panman. And if PNM love Pan and PNM love and respect the national instrument, then the 30 acres should be made available to Pantrinbago. They should get an extra 18, Mr. Porter Spain. You say you love Pan, you is a Pan man, but you love your PNM more than your Pan, and that is the problem. PNM is a cult. PNM brainwash. Imagine a man like Mr. Porter Spain who live and love Pan would allow PNM to take from Pan and then defend that. I can't help you. Mr. Porter Spain, may God bless you. My mother always tell me, respect my elders. Blessings.
That level of myopia is incredulous. Andy, that level of myopia is incredulous. Imagine you concerned about the amount of land and a discrepancy thereof, as that the PNM did with respect, of course, to David Lee's 400 million. They are concerned that it's 200 million and not concerned about whether there is a benefit to the population, and in the case of the Pan scenario, whether or not it will benefit Pan men. I mean, it is simply, not only incredulous, but
let me take some calls. We understand.
Remarkably dense.
Oh boy,
remarkably
go
dense,
ahead,
my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Ground Report. I have no problem with them selling the guy the refinery. My problem is why they didn't get the OW to it, because apparently they went and find this guy, whereas we have we own people here, we own Trinidadians, so we say we love, and we love TNT, and we can sell them the refinery, not like OWT was begging for it. So I find that super strange, and government need to answer that.
Man, I still saying no OWTU, no this, no that. Trinidad and Tobago, the government, I want organize and start back. The government. No, OWTU or well, this one, not because it's a...
started back, they would have started back, so clearly that is not the intention. The intention is to sell it.
Right,
so,
but
yeah, they sell it to subset it to we own. Why is selling that?
Oh, okay, that's a very good point you're making. But the issue here to me is, when the next government comes, that they are not supposed to know, don't sell to nobody, organize and open back we refinery.
Facts.
Open back, spend the $7 billion. Open back we refinery.
There's another theory. And it's connected with the fake oil matter. The whole cabinet decided to do away with Petrotrin and the oil refinery because of Dr. Rowley's involvement with the fake oil matter and his friend AV. That is one aspect of it. But in making the government reinvest in it, it has a political connotation that will conclude that they are total asinine specimen of inhumanity to have done that. So therefore, politically, they see it not in their interest. So they will continue to sacrifice Trinidad and Tobago, and the possibility that we can augment our foreign exchange reserves by reintroducing or resuscitating that oil refinery, but will not do it because it looks too bad for them politically. That's all, That's all. That's another theory. Go ahead, my friend.
Nice. Morning, caller.
I hear a certain minister saying that some people property costs 10 and 15 million. I want him to tell us how much money his property costs. Eh? How much it cost? How much it cost? You come out where you come out. You come out. You maybe come here a millionaire, but now all of all is millionaires. How much your property cost? That is what we want to know.
Nice. And our message came in saying, morning, as someone said, we have no oil at Petrotrin, but they're selling oil at Berth 6, where the divers die. Wow, that might be somebody that's working there.
But there's another theory to that as well, that they were preparing that particular line for a particular, what I consider to be illicit activities as far as that commodity is concerned. Let me put it that way.
Nice. Let me try something there, quick. I wonder if, because I want to make an interview, but they're not answering. So let me try something here. Let me see something. Because it's 2 minutes too, just to make sure. But how none of them executive and them with Miss Beverly, nobody want to answer the phone. All we want to do, I call Beverly.
She is attempting to get your side of the story, and there must be another side of it, because the reality is that the lands have been swapped for a facility that is to be constructed on the old site of the Trinidad and Tobago Central Post Office block, and of course subsequently became part and parcel of the Ministry of Planning as far as this land and survey is concerned, and is now mothballed, just as Petrotrin Refinery.
Let me try your next number.
That the integrity of the structure is another issue, and of course the expansion of the proposed expansion of the port is another issue that may
last caller
put that plan in jeopardy.
Last caller, it's a minute too. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, good morning. Sorry about that, yes.
All right, Lennox, Andy, and Mikey, good morning. My question this morning, are we going to get back our $64 million that was paid for the audit into Petrotrin? Nobody's speaking about that audit money. That money is $64 million being paid to do an audit into Petrotrin to find out if it's viable to close it or open it. What it is going on with that money, we still want to find out.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
And none of them said close down the oil refinery.
Exactly. Mr. X is in the building already. So Trinidad and Tobago, you have corridor transformation tonight, Lennox Smith?
No. People, you will be informed. We're still upgrading and trying, of course, to prevent people from hacking into our... But, of course, we continue to upload videos every day, every night, and we will continue on that vein until announcement is made.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, but what we know for sure is don't forget to look on tonight with the observers with yours truly, Michael Kerr. Until tomorrow morning, please God, on behalf of the Ground Report team, Mr. X is already in the building. We are out of here.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
Mr. X.
Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open for breakfast and lunch. 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 67 Western Main Road, St. James, opposite Standards. Serving local breakfast items like sada, pies, fry and roasted baked, with all your favorite fillings and assorted lunches. Available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Get pilau as low as $25 or get combination lunches from $25 to $40. Crab and dumpling on Fridays, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Soup Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. A la carte with burgers, fries, nuggets, gyros, loaded hot dogs. Just about anything you could think about. From 6 p.m. Sunday to Sunday. For more information, call 382-9347 to place your order. Chinese and Ari Restaurant. Open 7 days a week at St. James.
Double the vibes and double the flavor. KFC zing a double stacker. Two crispy chicken fillet with cheese in the middle. With barbecue sauce and it zing what a thing. KFC zing a double stacker. Big gun taste and big gun flavor. KFC zing a double stacker. Ready right now.
Get a Zinger Double Stacker Sandwich for only $49.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Annual motor vehicle inspection is a process conducted on all vehicles 5 years